This is exactly how I would double a real estate wholesaling business if I had to start over and if I wanted to make things as simple as possible. For context, I've made over $200,000 per month in my own wholesaling business. I've closed over 300 deals, and I do all of this without cold calling, without a massive team, and without spending a fortune on leads. I average around $15,000 to $20,000 profit per deal, and I get leads for around $30 using Facebook ads, and I contract one contract for every 225 leads that come into my system. So it's fair to say that after systematically scaling multiple wholesaling businesses, I know a thing or two about how to double your business. And if I could go back in time, knowing exactly what I know now, this is exactly how I would do it. Step one is the one that is by far the most important, yet is the most overlooked. Now, traditionally, if you're wholesaling, you're probably doing direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, SMS, using an agency for PPC or lead gen. But the reason why we are able to get $30 leads on Facebook ads is because we're not running the generic standard ads that all the agencies are running. No, what we're doing is we're calling out specific pain points in motivation so that we talk to our ideal avatar. Who's our avatar? People who are distressed or going through something critical, right? So in our ads, we call out divorce, foreclosure, inheritance, vacant property, people who want to downsize, or maybe the property needs a ton of repairs. And also what we do is we are the ones on our ads. So me being in the actual video, it's going to create way more trust with the prospect instead of just having to depend on a generic ad, right? So if you were to compare the traditional cost per lead with all the other channels, if you were trying inbound, you're probably paying around $150 to $300 a lead if you are using a pay-per lead provider, or if you are using your agency. Once you factor in the cost of the agency and the cost per lead, you're probably looking at around $3,000 to $4,000 cost per contract. If we are contracting one deal for every 20 to 25 leads and our cost per deal is $30, our cost from 600 to $700, $100 closed per contract. So if you were able to learn exactly how to do this and you were able to save 50% on your cost per contract on your marketing, you think you would make more money? And that is exactly what a lot of our clients are averaging with 2 to 4K in marketing spend per month. They're making 20 to 30K per month by having access to inbound leads with people that already said that they do want to sell, but the main thing is who they're going to sell to. All the people that fill out the information that they want to sell, they do want to sell. It's just a matter of who they're going to sell to. And what I tell all the clients and all the people is they're going to sell to whoever they trust the most. So our goal is to build that trust with the seller. That way we can have an open-ended conversation. That way we can contract way more deals. So once you fix this, you're not going to be depending on a ton of other people. You're going to be able to learn exactly how to run this yourself. And once you fix this, if you know how to get leads, you're always going to be able to get deals. Step two is going to come down to your sales process. You need to systematically do a proven process where your team can just follow it and you know exactly what to say, what to ask, and how to go about the conversation. Now, before you start blaming the leads, you actually need to take a look internally and figure out exactly what's going on with the sales process, because things are not like 2021, 2022, where you could just throw out an offer and sell the deal. However, nowadays it's harder. So you actually need to have a system where you actually dig for the motivation, set up the proper expectations, and that way you can have a higher quality conversation when it comes to talking to the sellers. So if you sound like everybody else and every other wholesaler, you're going to be able to get that contract. So traditionally, you may just be winging it, or you may ask surface level questions, motivation, condition, ballpark, like what is it that they want to get. But what we actually do and the way that we actually win is we actually need to dig deeper when it comes to the next steps, when it comes to selling the property, right? So anything that they give us as far as motivation, we don't take anything for face value. So what we do very well is actually dig deep into the motivation and what their options look like, right? So we are super transparent with them, whether we're wholesaling the property or we're doing innovation. We tell them exactly what's going on. And one of the most important things that you could do in your sales process is go over how to set the proper expectations when it comes to talking to the sellers as soon as they come in, explaining how you work, and basically that you're trying to make a win-win solution when it comes to you working with them, right? So in our sales process, we have 2 lead managers, and their job is to talk to all the inbound leads that we get, because we get anywhere from 8 to 10 leads per day by using Facebook ads, right? So their job is to filter out the most qualified prospects so that our closers can actually talk to the ones who they already said that they are ready to sell right now. So we take a look into two things when qualifying the leads. One, are they urgent? Meaning if we come to a deal, are they ready to sell right now? So if they have that and they have some sort of motivation where we know that we'd help them, we are going to push those through our sales guys, and they're trained to dig deep into the motivation, build a rapport, create that trust, that we have that even playing field where we know exactly what the seller's objections are, what their motivation is, their fears that they may have, what they need to figure out before selling. And once you're able to implement this, before you blame the leads and the marketing, you're going to be able to convert way more contracts. So for us, for every 4 offers that we give, we're able to contract 1 property, because we don't just do wholesaling, we do a lot of novations, listings, stuff like that. Once you own the lead, it's up to you what you want to do with that lead, right? So for us, we try to make 20 to 25K per deal. Sometimes we don't get that, but on average, like I said, we make anywhere from 17 to 20K. And having a fundamental sales process that your team can just follow, it's going to pay huge dividends when it comes to you making more money. By the way, if you're getting some value from the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want some help implementing some of the stuff that I'm talking about in this video, you can click the first link in the description and we can book a consultation call and we can go over how we can help you scale with these systems. So step 3 is going to come down to building your 5-person power team to make sure that you actually scale. Now, the reason why most people stay stuck is because they don't know how to hire, they don't know how to delegate. But once you're able to figure out exactly how to attract the right people and how to onboard them, how to train them to do exactly what you want them to do, that's when you are going to scale past 7 figures, right? So for us, we run very lean, very mean. It's 6 of us. So I have 2 lead managers, like I was saying. Their job is to just basically filter out leads that come in. That way we're talking to the highest quality people that are ready to start right now, and they're following up with anyone who's not ready, right? So their job is to warm up the leads to the 2 of my closers. So I have 2 lead managers, 2 closers, and the closer's job is to talk to the people that already told us they do want to sell and they're qualified, they're urgent and motivated, right? So 2 lead managers, 2 closers. I have 1 dispo guy / manager who helps me oversee the sales team. He helps them how to give out the offers, how to comp the properties, approve the offers, and he's basically like my right-hand man, right? So I'm not really required in the business. The only thing that I do is I'm in charge of the marketing. I spend maybe 30 minutes a week managing the Facebook ads campaign, and maybe I record a couple videos once a month. That way we get fresh creative so our cost per lead stays low. But with this, you don't need to have a huge team. We also have a TC that's third party and we just pay her by transaction. But we have a 5 to 6 person team, yet we're making more than 6 figures per month. And I'm not that required in the business where I can actually travel, do whatever I want. And for us in my business, I am at a happy place where I don't feel the need to scaling more, because there's a point of the diminishing return where the juice may not be worth the squeeze, because in the end it's all about how much money you net per month. So with me, I'm happy netting 50, 60, 70K, 100K, even some months with our business by me not having to do everything. Your dream team is very important that you hold everybody accountable, where everybody knows how many appointments they need to set, how many offers you need to send, because in the end, like I said, it's all about sales and marketing. And if you know exactly how many leads you need on a monthly basis to get to your goal, how many appointments, how many offers, it'll be way easier to scale, because now you have a precise plan that you can just follow and hold the team accountable. So here is very important that you yourself as a founder give your team the actual resources and training that they need so that they can achieve their goals, right? So it's not only about you, it's about them as well. But once you systemize everything where you know exactly what each team member is responsible for, that's exactly when you'll be able to scale whatever that means to you, whether it's 50K a month, 100K a month, 150K per month, it's up to you. And you can figure out exactly what you want your business to look like once you have these key people in place. Part of this, you need to implement tracking and accountability systems. Now, the main reason why most wholesalers don't scale is because they don't want to track their numbers. They think that more hustle and just chasing after deals is the answer, but you won't be able to scale unless you do this. And take it from experience, it took me 2 years to start tracking my numbers. And I figured out that I missed out on around $700,000 one of the years that I was not doing it. So if you move to the next level, you need to actually build accountability where you know exactly what your team is responsible for. You need to have a detailed scorecard system when it comes to all of your team members where you can hold them accountable, and them themselves can have a goal where they can follow what the goal is. And if something is off, you are able to address and dissect what the problem is, whether it's the marketing, the pass offs, maybe they're not setting up for expectations, they are not asking the right questions. Because once you're able to track it, you're going to be able to fix it. You know what they say, you can't improve what you don't measure. So you can't build a 7-figure operation if you are not tracking your numbers. But once you have your goals, it's very easy on a weekly basis to go over the numbers, and you can see each team member if they accomplish the goal. If something is missing, what can we do in order to fix it? Because unless you do this, that's when you are going to finally be able to break free from the day-to-day grind. So if you hate it, I don't care, but you need to do this if you actually want to make money. So part 4 is super important. It's often overlooked, but it's the main thing that's going to separate you from a wholesaler to an actual business owner. And it is not until you have all of this set up where you're going to actually be able to reverse engineer how much marketing spend you need to invest per month in order for you to get the leads, the appointments, and the offers sent out so that you can contract and project the profit that you want to make on a monthly basis. Because like I said, if you don't have a goal, you have nothing to hold yourself accountable to, and you start running this like a real business and not just throwing spaghetti at the wall hoping something sticks. You have a plan that you can follow, and once you do this, you're going to be able to make the money and be more consistent and actually run this like an actual CEO. Step 5 is going to be optimize your disposition process. Now, we don't just wholesale to flippers. We want to make as much money as we can. So we do a lot of novations. So before you get to that, you need to talk to your title company to make sure everything is set up. Whether you want to do locally or nationwide, there's a ton of resources that you can use and find investor-friendly title companies. But once you do that, and whenever we get a deal, like I said, we're going to try to make as much as we can. But if it's a cash deal, the way that we dispo is we use investor base, and we are able to put the address and look at the past sales from investors, and then we just call them. And basically, if it's a new area, we know exactly what they're buying. And if they want to get a deal, we're going to try to get at least 2 backup offers before we accept one. So on a dispo process, if it's a cash deal, we're going to get at least 3 offers in writing and just pick the best one. And if we have to retrade the deal with a seller, we're going to do that. And if we can bump up the buyers, we're going to do that as well, right? So in some markets, we have our VIP buyers where we know exactly what it is that they're buying. And if we can kind of guarantee the sell on the seller and we know exactly what the buyers are paying, it'll be way easier to move the deals and shorten that cash conversion cycle. So you got to be able to do both, right? You want to do cash deals and you want to do innovation deals, right? So the cash deals are going to close way quicker, whereas in the innovations, they're going to take a little bit longer, but you're going to be able to make a little bit more money. So we don't want to do all innovations and no wholesales. We're going to do a mix of both, right? But you're able to build the relationships by going on Facebook groups, using resources like Investor Base, Investor Lift, talk to buyers, figure out exactly what it is that they're buying, make relationships where they know exactly what it is that they're looking for. And you need to be different than the other wholesalers and not just like call them whenever you have a deal, but actually try to nurture that relationship. That way, you know exactly what it is that they're buying, and that way you can sell deals much quicker. So this is exactly what we do, and we hold our dispo team accountable to our metrics. So whenever a property is not selling, we're going to price reduce, and we need to go back to the seller and retrade. We're going to do that. And as long as you have this system set up, you're going to be able to sell deals much quicker and make money way faster, so you can reinvest back into marketing or hiring more team members. There you have it, folks. That's literally the exact step-by-step process on how I would double a real estate wholesaling business from scratch all the way to consistent 50K per month, 100K per month, 150K plus per month. And I know if you follow this to a T, I promise you that you will double your wholesaling business. But this all alone is clearly easier said than done. You'll actually struggle setting up the Facebook ads and how to make the actual ads that convert. You'll waste money trying to figure it out on your own. And maybe if you don't have the sales process that actually works, you won't be able to get deals, and you probably have to hire the wrong people in the wrong order. But with everything that I've given you, you literally have 2 options. You can do it yourself, knowing all the problems that you will face, and I wish you the best of luck. But you also have another option. You can work with me and help you implement these exact systems into your business. And if you pick the second option, then click on the first link in the description down below. Let's book a consultation call with me. Let's go over the plan. This is for you if you want to avoid all of this yourself and you want to have someone on your corner who has already done this 300 plus times per deal. And my goal is to help you implement a proven system that's going to make you money. So if that's you, click on the link down below, book a call, and speak to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.